What is good, YouTube? Quinn Wade Basketball Analysis. I'm going to make a lot of videos because the NBA draft is today. A big event for the NBA, but we had a trade yesterday that I covered, which was Dwight Howard getting traded to the Brooklyn Nets for 2 second-round picks, cash, and Timothy Mozgov. And at the end of the day, now it's a report that's saying that Dwight Howard and the Nets will be negotiating a buyout, which will allow Dwight Howard to become a free agent and be able to go to the team that he really wants to go to. And I told you guys he still has some things left in the tank. He put up solid numbers. People say he's a cancer in the locker room, which I can't really tell you if he is or isn't because I'm not in the locker room, but it has been a consistent story. It has been something that been highly publicized about him, and he really needs to find a way to figure out what's the source of the problem, because at this stage of the Dwight Howard career, he's only declining. He hasn't gotten better. He hasn't really added too much to his game. He has still proven that he can be a starter. He can make an impact on the team, but he's going to have to find a team that he can get with, potentially stay on, and help them compete to win games. And he couldn't really do that in Charlotte because of injuries and the fact that they didn't have enough talent. But going into going into this buyout, he has to really look at himself in that mirror and try to find out what changes can he make to prolong his career. What changes can he make to sacrifice for a team that's trying to win a championship? It's a lot of teams that can use a Dwight Howard motor, effort, energy, and defense, and you get more help when you have a coach that can plug you in. He can literally do less on a better team, just like JaVale McGee, for example. He was a guy that was a nutcase. People always talk trash about him. People always slandered him. People always made fun of him. People always wanted to embarrass him. But when he went to the Warriors, they gave him limited minutes. And you see how well he has played and how well he has done getting those limited minutes, that he has contributed to a two-time championship team. But he was a guy that nobody wanted and a guy that everybody talked about in a negative way. But he stayed focused on his dreams. He stayed focused on his goal. And he did what the coach asked him to do. And it helped them contribute to winning. Even this year in the playoffs, he had some really, really good games. And he did what he was supposed to do. Didn't get mad about the minutes. Didn't get mad about the playing time. Didn't get mad and frustrated because he wasn't getting what he wanted. He went out there and did what he had to do to contribute to that team winning. And they went out there and won. But this buyout to me is huge for Dwight Howard, because last time he was a free agent, he went to Atlanta. And they was in a mediocre mode where they was trying to make the playoffs, and they did, but they realized that they needed to rebuild, and then they even let the coach go. And obviously Paul Millsap walked away too, and so did Jeff Teague. So I think going to Atlanta, he was just trying to go home and play for the home crowd and try to contribute them to winning, but they just didn't have enough, and they knew that they wasn't going to be competing for a championship with that roster. So they ended up moving on with all the pieces. Now him getting traded to Charlotte, I feel it allowed him to play more happier. Even though they said they didn't really like him in the locker room, but he was able to shoot his jumpers. He was able to do his post-ups. He was able to do the rim running and his rebounding. And he was able to get back to enjoying and loving the game of basketball, regardless of what people say. He looked a lot more happier. He seemed like he was enjoying playing in Charlotte. Obviously, if I'm Dwight Howard, I don't mind getting traded to Brooklyn if they're going to buy me out, because at the end of the day, I'm technically never going to play for the team if they buy me out. And another thing is, you have that freedom to literally talk and negotiate to a team that you want to go to and potentially have a chance to win a championship with another team. It may not be Charlotte. It may not be Atlanta. It may not be Brooklyn. But that's the best part about it, is now you know you at that stage of your career where money isn't the problem. You already made a couple million. You still getting paid $24 million this year, and now he might get paid a little less because it's a buyout. He gonna have to take less money, but you do have that freedom to evaluate the situations, to think about the situations, to talk to the coaches, to talk to the GM, how they're going to utilize you, how they're going to basically use you offensively, how they're going to use you defensively, and you can get on the same page with these people, and that should help, find a the identity of you, what you're going to have at the end of the day on the roster. So I think getting traded isn't a good thing because you're forced to go somewhere you don't want to go. You're forced to play with players that you may not want to play with because they traded you there. But now being a free agent again after the buyout should allow Dwight Howard to really focus on winning. At his age and he's declining. You definitely want to win a championship before you retire. So you want to put yourself in the best situation that you can to accomplish that goal. It wasn't in Atlanta. It wasn't in Charlotte. But now you have that chance after this buyout to really get a chance to compete for a championship and try to figure out how to win one on a team that's there. Like I said, Golden State, Pachulia come off, JaVale McGee come off. They can make a case to get Dwight Howard to play with KD, to play with Steph, Clay, and Draymond. They have that defensive anchor, that rebounder that they lack. That guy that can still give you the JaVale McGee things, but give you more better defense, can give you more better rebounding, can give you more better consistent minutes. So he can potentially go to a Golden State for a pay cut. He can potentially go to a San Antonio for a pay cut. I can see him going to other teams just to for the cash. But at this point, I think Dwight Howard should just focus on winning a championship. It is teams that can potentially use him. The big men are coming back in the NBA. I think Boston is a team, honestly, that should try to make a run at them. I made that video about Mo Bamba, but Dwight going to Boston is not that bad. You can literally play Dwight at the center and Al Horford at the power forward, Gordon at the three, Jaylen Brown or Jason Tatum at the two, and Kyrie at the point guard. Then you have a guy that can get the rebounds, block the shots. He's going to fit more better because Brad Stevens knows what he's going to do with him. He knows how he's going to utilize him. And Boston was already one of the best defensive teams in the league. And now they get one of the best defensive players in NBA history to come along and play within a system that can get the best out of him. So I can definitely see them, if they can't get Mo Bamba, if they can't really get another big man like they got Baines and like they got Monroe, I can definitely see them trying to make a run at trying to get Dwight Howard to come down to Boston. And you got to think about it. Danny Ainge is a guy that likes to take risks. Danny Ainge is a guy that he doesn't mind, just like Eric Spoelstra and Pat Riley. He don't mind taking the Hassan Whiteside because the reward might be better than the risk. But you won't know until you take that risk. So I can definitely see Danny Ainge trying to make a move to get Dwight Howard to be on that roster. Like I said, I personally don't like Al Horford at the four because he's not a great rim protector, but they showed that they can make a good defensive team, a great defensive team with Al Horford. Just imagine what they can do with Al Horford and Dwight on the same team, and you get that interior rebounding, which he lacks, Al Horford, and you still get that shot blocking athleticism from Dwight. Cleveland. Why can't you go to Cleveland? Tristan Thompson is a guy that looks like he's on his way out. He started getting more minutes in the playoffs, but at the end of the day, I can see Dwight going to Cleveland and given they wanted DeAndre Jordan. So it's not that big of a difference between DeAndre Jordan and Dwight Howard, especially because you can pay Dwight Howard significantly less money to come compared to DeAndre Jordan. So DeAndre Jordan is still under a player option of $25 million. If he opts out, he's looking to get that or more. And you can get Dwight Howard for a cheap price, especially compared to DeAndre Jordan. And like I said, you get what Dwight Howard brings to the table in Cleveland. It's kind of the same thing as getting DeAndre Jordan. Milwaukee, they don't have that inside presence. They have Giannis. They have Middleton to be perimeter defenders. They have Malcolm Brogdon as a perimeter defender. Why wouldn't they want to make a run at a guy like Dwight either? They have to get that inside presence. They have to get that rebounding to help out Giannis, and they have to get that guy that can anchor a defense. Thon McCarr is not on that level right now. He allows you to get the floor spacing, but he's not a great rebounder. He's not a tough physical inside presence. His shot blocking has gotten better, but Dwight Howard can make their growth and more competitive right away, and they can still develop Thon McCarr on the side as a project while still trying to win games now with Giannis, Chris Middleton, and Dwight. And to me, the last team that he can potentially go to that he can really make a difference on is the New York Knicks. If Joakim Noah is on that roster, and I don't know if he should really go there because Chris Tap's gonna miss majority of the year, but that's another team that he can potentially fit in, and give them that anchor because they might not want to keep in this Cantor depending on how much money he wants. And Porzingis is gonna be gone for majority of the year, but you still want to lose so you can get a top 10 draft pick. So he might not go to New York, but the other teams I can definitely see Dwight Howard going there and trying to extend his career and try to compete for championships and be that X factor. Like it's a lot of teams that need that interior presence, that need that rebound, that needs that toughness, and that needs that shot blocking ability and ability to have great post defense. Will work well against the Joel Embiid's, the Jokic's, the DeMarcus Cousins. You need that inside presence, especially in the West, because there's a lot of big men now in the West, and you definitely want to be able to match up with them. You definitely want to be able to have that option of going big. Like I said, Golden State will struggle against AD and DeMarcus Cousins in the inside. You add Dwight Howard with Draymond Green and Kevin Durant, and you have a better shot at being able to guard them interiorly. Um, Especially if they come back together, if you go back to the Pelicans. So you want as much flexibility and versatility and diversity as you can have. You want to have multiple lineups. You want to be able to go small. You want to be able to go long. You want to be able to go with 3-point shooters, but you also want to be able to go with go big because certain teams has that advantage, and you want to have as many advantages as you can, and you want to have as many lineups as you can. Like people say, you can never have too much talent. And why not try to continue to increase that and help you win a championship when you get a guy like Dwight? Yes, he is possibly a locker room cancer. Yes, he's not really a light guy. People always getting on his case. People always saying something negative about him. But at the end of the day, he still is a starting caliber player on his right. He's still a starting caliber player in the NBA, and he still has some value. Yes, you may have to pick up with some stupid stuff. Yes, you may have to pick up a locker room cancer, but you're not keeping him around for 5 to 10 years. You're just trying to use him to win 1 to 2 to 3 championships. And if he can, like JaVale McGee, if he can pick his role and stay and do what they tell him to do, they can pick up a good player for a bargain price. In Dwight Howard. So it's a risk of reward. Are you willing to take that risk to get that guy that other people turn down but can really be a diamond in the rough? And some people want those diamonds. Some people scared of getting the diamond. Some people don't mind, digging for it. And Dwight is one of those guys that people gonna be a little weary. People gonna be like, should I really do this? But they know he has talent and they know what they can do. And in the right place, in the right system, and the right coach, you can still get a lot of Dwight you can get a lot out of Dwight Howard going into next year. And like I said, you're not giving him a long-term commitment. So that's another thing you should consider. These centers now are getting 1, 2, 3-year deals. They're not getting 4 or 5-year deals with $100 million anymore because the game has become more perimeter oriented. But like I said, the ability to get Dwight Howard for 5, 10, 15 million for 1 to 2 to 3 seasons, that's not that bad considering that it's more centers that make more than that. And you're getting a guy that can be a quality starter in that regard. So let me know what you guys think about Dwight Howard. Check out my website, analysisplayground.com. Link in the description in the comment section below. Check out my website, analysisplayground.com. Link to be in the description in the comment section below. Like on Facebook to show support. Quinn Wade Basketball Analysis. I'm gone. And let me know what you guys think, where Dwight Howard should do, where he should go, and if his career is over at this point.